the field of consciousness, which is an infinite field. Within this field of consciousness, there arises a vibration, and ultimately that vibration becomes the body-mind world. And from the perspective of our humanity, that vibration of consciousness is the Divine Mother. Really, the Divine Mother is the power of consciousness that becomes vibration. The Divine Mother is not even the totality of vibration. She is consciousness itself. That which has the power to become a vibration. And all vibration is her garment, you could say. You see, so she's prior to vibration. She's more than. She's transcendental to vibration. But she's not different from it. We could look at it like this. We could say that the vibration of the universe, for example, is her bangle, to be poetic about it, or a lock of her hair. But it's a bangle on her arm, a garment. It's her garment. And from the perspective of non-duality, one might ask, well, what's the point of thinking about things this way? Now I'm bringing in the idea of some kind of celestial woman, and I've brought in the duality of male and female. Well, it just so happens that historically, traditionally, cross-culturally, the divine energy has been visualized by countless sages, mystics, and shamanic practitioners as a feminine force. And it just so happens that that energy appears to tend to favor the feminine form when it portrays itself or manifests itself in some kind of apparition or vision. Be that as it may, my stance here today is that you should honor the Divine Mother. It's enormously helpful to consider the Divine Mother. And when considering the Divine Mother, how do we go about that? Well, anything we see and the process of seeing itself and the existence of the one who sees, these are all forms of appearance. And all appearance is a vibration in consciousness. And the Divine Mother is the source of that vibration. Therefore, any object one sees, including one's own body, including one's own sentiment and sentience and feeling and intelligence, can all be considered to be the form of the Divine Mother. You've been bequeathed your humanity as an expression of divinity. And the power that gives rise to that expression, we can say, is the Divine Mother. And contemplating this power, which is greater than egoic power. It's greater than personal power. Contemplating that power, honoring that power, worshipping that power, imploring that power to reveal itself to you, begging that power for grace, or loving that power, considering oneself a child of that power, or the consort of that power. All of these bhavas, or moods, or dispositions, or attitudes that one can adopt as a yogi, as a practitioner on the way, all of this can serve, does serve, and may serve, depending on your karma and God's grace, but may serve to elicit the presence of grace. It's like digging in the ground and coming upon a well. And ultimately, this divine power, manifesting as Kundalini Shakti in the human being, when awakened through divine fervor, longing, discrimination, meditation, prayer, devotion, brings about the flowering of enlightenment, brings about the expansion of consciousness known as enlightenment, which is the discovery of our inherent oneness.